want to share a story with you. This is Grace Murray Hopper, and she is a U.S. Navy award-winning computer scientist and one of the world's first computer programmers. And she created the A20 system, the first modern compiler and COBOL, a commercial computer programming language, and is known as the mother of COBOL. She was the first program queen in the world to uncover computer bugs. When the computer suddenly stopped working for some reason, after careful explanation, Grace finds that a moth flew in and caused the short circuit in the computer, just like the figure, right side figure. And she pasted the remains of the moth on the R&D logbook, saying she found a bug that caused the computers to stop working. Since then, any error that stops the computer is commonly referred to as a bug, and finding the error is called debug. I think it's a very interesting thing. Okay. Today I want to share you guys to this topic is about the higher education trajectories of Taiwanese women in STEAM. This is a longitudinal analysis by Andy and his team. Okay, in the past, Taiwan was influenced by gender stereotypes, which lead to fewer women choosing STEAM, while the rapidly expansion of higher education in 1990s, and it increased the people into higher education. So you want to know the first question: has expansion of Taiwan's tertiary education system provide more access and opportunities for women in STEAM? If it has, how did it happen? Second, does the growth of women's participation in the STEAM educational pipeline influence their participation in the labor market? Do they experience discrimination which prevents them from pursuing STEAM professions? This study investigates how the expansion of the tertiary education system reshaped the educational opportunity of women in STEAM and subsequently the structure in the labor market of STEAM professional in Taiwan. Okay, so in this study, Andy used 38 years of data in education and the labor market. Figure A and Figure B. Wait. Okay. Figure A and B indicate the changing composition of men and male. Men and women upper secondary school graduates among 3 different tracks. We can see three lines. The solid line indicates the share of graduates in academic track, and the dashed line indicates the share of graduates in the vocational STEAM track, and the dotted line indicates share of graduates in the vocational non-STEAM track. Okay, we can see the in 1992, maybe, yeah, 1992, and the highest line is the vocational STEAM. Vocational STEAM is the 57.7%, and the middle line is academic, is 29.3%, and the lowest line is 13.1% is vocational non-STEAM. But until 2017, has something changed. The highest line is academic, have 42.2%, and the middle is vocational STEAM. Is 31.8%, and the lowest always vocational non-STEAM. Okay, we can see the female, the highest in 1992, the same time, highest is vocational non-STEAM is 67.4%, and the middle, just like the male, it's academic 22.9%, and the lowest is 9.7%. its vocational STEAM. It's different at the male. Okay. Until 2017, the highest is just like the male. It's the academic and 47.2%. And the middle is vocational non-STEAM. And the lowest is vocational STEAM. It's different as male. Okay, figures C and D indicate the changing composition of male and female post-secondary graduates. The solid line indicates the share of graduates in STEAM at bachelor's degree level, and the dashed line indicates the share of graduates in STEAM at associate degree level. 2010, we can check this. 2010, the percentage of 4-year STEAM degrees reached a peak of 60.2%. At the same time, only 3.3% of men students graduated with associate degree in STEAM fields. And by 2017, the number increased to 54.8%. The percentage of men students choosing non-STEAM programs at university increased from 34.6% in 2010 to 41.7% in 2017. Okay, we can check the figure D. Figure D is female. In 1979, only 7.5% of women who enrolled a tertiary education earned a bachelor's degree in STEAM fields. Even for associate degree, only 10.5% of women students graduated in STEAM fields. The percentage of women students graduating with an associate degree in STEAM increased to 31.3% in 1995. At that time, only 7.9% of women students at the university were studying in STEAM programs. From 1995 to 2007, the percentage of women who graduated with bachelor's degree gradually increased and reached a saturation point 24.2% in 2007, followed by a 10-year flat curve until 2017. By 2017, only 5.4% of women students were left in 2-year STEAM programs, compared to 25 by 2017, they were 10.2% in this way. Thus, women students enrolled in STEAM program either at junior college at university. Although our statistics cannot show their preference for academic track at the upper secondary level, this suggests that among 100 men and women senior high school graduates who choose academic track in STEAM programs, 74 men and 45 women students would eventually choose STEAM field and graduate. Okay, let's take a look at the table 4.1. The percent participation rate of 25 to 35-year-olds in STEAM professions. 1991 to 21, the percentage of 25 to 35-year-olds who had STEAM professional occupation increased from 1.72% to 4.01%, almost 2.5 times. In 1991, 0.95 of women took STEAM professional positions. By 21, this number increased at about 1.8 times to 1.77%. And we can see the 21 to 2017, the percentage of the youth generation who had a STEM professional occupation increased from 4.01% to 12.87%, almost 3.2 times or more. In 1.77% of women had a STEM professional position. By 2017, this number increased to 10.01, about 5.6 times more. Okay, please check figure 8. Over the past 38 years, both gender groups experienced 3 different stages. In the first stage, from 1979 to 1990, the share of STEM professional occupation by gender basically reflects the gender composition within tertiary education. On average, the ratio between the 2 gender groups was 5 male to 1 female. Inequality in the education pipeline followed by inequality in the labor market is very apparent. Entire the second stage, from 1991 to 21, Taiwan's economy gradually shifted towards higher tech industries. Overall, the segregation by gender in the STEM professional job market was improving. The ratio between the 2 gender groups shrunk from 5 to 1 and to 3 to 1. In the third stage, from 21 to 2017, the convergence of participation in STEM professions between the 2 gender groups became obvious. By the last survey year, 2017, the ratio between the 2 gender groups dropped to 1.5 to 1, down from 3 to 1 in 21. The growth of women in STEM professional occupation fueled by higher education expansion to a certain degree offset the position vacancy, which could not be filled only by men. Figure B visualizes the percentage of the population who got a college education in STEM and also had STEM professional positions. Over the past 38 years, women always had a higher percentage of matching between STEM education and occupation compared to men in their age cohort. This trend barely changed even though there was a significant increase in the number of women who were awarded bachelor's degree in STEM, which suggests that women who completed STEM degrees were more determined to pursue STEM careers. Okay, final. This is a conclusion. We have 4 points. First, leaky pipeline is still present between upper secondary and tertiary education. Second, possible self-selection from both men and women. When Taiwan expanded its tertiary education system, more and more youth had access to university education, but less and less youth showed interest in STEM careers. This tendency did not exclusively happen among women, but with men as well. Second, education expansion cannot guarantee gender equality, especially in STEM fields, but it does improve in the labor market. Fourth, selling effect. This scenario sends a warning to policy makers that aggressive intervention to improve gender inequality is still needed in the educational system. Okay, thanks.
Okay.
Okay, thank you for Christina's presentation. So let's go back to the first slide.
Okay. First.
Okay, let's go to the second. Yeah. Okay, can you make it bigger?
Okay.
Okay, and I think Christina make a big progress for her past study, and okay, yes, I think this paper we did not use any fancy statistic. We just clean the data and do the descriptive. Okay, and the reason why we want to do this paper is the idea. I joined Tabitech in 2019. By that time, I'm kind of surprising to see we have a portion of girl in the STEAM department. Okay, why I say that? I have no connection with Tabitech. So when before I come to Tabitech, I would see all the human being should be a male. Okay, but if you are in Tabitech, you will see the portion of female is higher than your expectation. Okay, so I have some sense of idea. Okay, maybe the higher education expansion itself provide the more opportunity for girls to study in STEAM. Okay, so this is kind of idea. So this is the first point I want to point out. This is the first. Second thing, you wondering why so many people want to study women in STEAM. Why this issue is important, right? Why we should care women should study in STEAM. Okay, can anyone give me any idea why we should encourage women to study in STEAM? Sam, why? What does it mean gender equality? I mean, when you say gender equality, what does it mean?
There's no like discrimination.
Can you open?
There is no any discrimination.
What kind of discrimination?
For example, like if nowadays, it's like common secret for people like we made like let's say 10 minutes, male and female, and then we want to hire them into STEM field. Then I think so that the majority of people, including us, including me myself, I will say that men will be better than girls in the STEM field because physically they are stronger, they're like capabilities is high.
Yeah, this is kind of a stereotype.
Yeah,
we think boys should be more smart, their performance would be much better compared to their girl, right? But my question is, why we should care? We should have more women in STEAM. Why we never care? We should have more men in non-STEAM. Can you get my point? Why we should worry so few girls in STEAM? Why we never worry so few boys in non-STEAM? Yeah. So I think this, we never thought about this. The answer is, in fact, this is about the labor market. Who will get higher pay in the labor market? Is the STEAM people or non-STEAM people? It's STEAM people, because non-STEAM people used to think it's a low pay. Okay, and you don't need to have any particular technical skill, then you can get a job. For example, like a cooking, like a education, like a lots of business thing. So we believe girls, they are not good in STEAM, so they should go to the non-STEAM. At the end, they will get the position only in the non-STEAM, which is low pay, like what? Secretary, right? Those kind of like accounting, those of things, those very basic things. And the STEAM itself require you to have a long education in those STEAM subject. So you will become a scientist, engineering. So at the end, you get a higher pay. Okay, so this is about if let's for girl, okay, for them individual, but for whole society, why we care we should have more women in STEAM? That's because if we have more women in STEAM, which means we are going to have more genius in STEM field. So for example, the first slide Christina present is a girl. And there has a very famous scientist whose name is Marie Curie. In Chinese, we call 居里夫人, who found X-ray. It's her. It's her. In fact, we saw a lot of talented female scientists. If all the women would be educated equally, they would get an equally opportunity to study in STEAM. They may be show their intelligence in STEAM. At the end, the whole human society would get a benefit. However, in Taiwanese society, we have a stereotype. We think the girls, they are not good in STEAM, so we discourage them to choose STEAM. By when? Since junior high school. So if girls, they are not good at math, people will always say, okay, because you are a girl, so you don't need to choose STEAM program. Okay, and by the senior high school, if you can imagine that in this way, in Taiwan, we have senior high school and the senior high vocational school. If you go to a senior high vocational school, they already separate in the non-STEAM and the STEAM. If you go to the non-STEAM, you never will get the opportunity to study math anymore. So your track is already separate by the senior high school. In another way, if you go to a senior high school, those general program, in Taiwan, we still force you to choose the STEAM track or non-STEAM track. So in general, everyone, they would be forced to choose STEAM or non-STEAM by which age? 15, which the age they know nothing about themselves. Okay? So but once they choose this track, there's no way back. Okay? So let's continue. Let's go to the next slide. Next slide. So we use this graph to show you what happened in Taiwanese educational system. In fact, during the 1990s, we have an educational reform. One of the issues is to promote more general program for everyone, not particularly for the girl, it's for everyone. And the second educational reform is we have reduced the amount of vocational high school. We change them into the general program, which means there has a lot of girls, they used to go to the non-STEAM vocational track. Now they choose the general program. So then they have a second chance to choose whether they want to stay in the STEAM or non-STEAM. So in general, the time to choose STEAM or non-STEAM has been postponed, maybe by 18th, not 15th. They have more opportunity to try their interest, to decide which track they want to choose. Okay, I want to stop here. Any comment or feedback about what we are doing? We just use the administration data to show the composition of girl and the female, the boy and the girl in a different track. So if you look at the this graph, you will see in the academic track, in 1992, the percentage of female graduate from the academic program is about 22%. By the 2017, it's 47%. It's almost double. We have almost double of girls that graduate from the academic track. But the academic including STEAM and the non-STEAM, okay, we don't know. We don't have this data, okay? But we know one thing. In the general program, we have more girls graduate from this kind of program. Okay, let's go to the next slide. And let's focus on a female graduate at a tertiary educational level. Tertiary is mean junior college and university. Please look at that has AS mean associate degree. BA mean bachelor degree. Associate degree mean they just graduated from the junior college. And a bachelor degree mean they graduated from the university, which is a 4-year university. If you want to get a high pay professional job, you should graduate from the 4-year university instead of the junior college. Okay? So let's look at the female graduate. In 1979, we only have 7% of female graduate with bachelor degree in STEM field. But by 2017, the percentage became 24%. Okay? So this is the impression at Taipei Tech. I found the girl in STEM department is higher than my expectation. 24% is about every 4 people, every 4 girls, we have 1 girl study in STEM, right? But about 30 years ago, it's about how much? Less than every 10 people have 1 girl study in STEM. So you will see the portion is increasing. Why? Why make this kind of change? Maybe it's because the stereotype has been changed anymore. But what we are arguing is because the higher education expansion itself, the girl, they have more opportunity to try whether they are interested in STEM or non-STEM, because the time to separate has been postponed. Okay? So I want to take Christina as an example. Christina, her major your major in college is what? Physical education, right? Which is a non-STEM. Okay, what is your master? Yeah, it's also education, right? Even now, she is studying our program is education, of course. But if you check what she is doing, it's about a statistic. Would you classify statistic in a STEM or non-STEM? It's STEM, right? You will see a lot of opportunity open for a girl. If they continue to stay in university, they will find other opportunity. In fact, we do an interview, John and Christina and me, that we are working on a project. We interview all the girls at the Taipei Tech and ask them why you choose the STEM. You will find there has two group of people. The first group of girls, they found themselves are really good at math by junior high school. So they choose the junior high school. Okay, so this is the nature. The second group of girls, they used not belong to the STEM. They belong to the non-STEM. They choose their track during the university. They join some kind of project and they realize STEM is not so difficult than their explanation. So they choose the STEM because they found STEM is much easier to find a job. Okay, so you see the percentage has been changed. Okay, let's go to the final slide. The previous one. Yeah, this one. Okay, what is this? We get this data from Academic Sinica. We want to know, we already show you the changing composition of population in educational track. But now we want to show you the composition of gender in labor market. Okay? Because the education and the labor market, they are two parts. So in this slide, you will see STEM professional, age 25 to 35. What have you found? In about 1970 or something, right? In labor market, we have 5 male and only have 1 female in a STEM professional. Okay? But by 2017, we have 1.5 male and 1 female in the STEM professional. So based on this data, can we say girls, they So they cannot compete with male in the STEAM professional? No, not anymore. And if you look at this graph very carefully, you will see the male, they already, that's an S curve. They are going to flat, but the girl is continue increasing. So one day, maybe 10 years later, we will have concern. We have a less male in STEAM, not less female in STEAM. Yeah, male have to go to the kitchen. Yeah, and why not only about the education? You will find the industry, the style we do the business already be changed. If you go to the high technology industry, you will see a lot of female engineering. Because we used to think, lost STEAM, you need to carry a lot of heavy thing. Okay, you need to do like how to say that? You need to operate a lot of heavy machine. But now it's AI. You just need your brain, right? So you will see the style already be changed, and you will see a lot of programmer. They are girl. They are not boy. Okay, so you will see the labor market has been changed. Okay, so this paper I want to show to you. Okay, any comments or feedback? Open your microphone.
As I remember, the project that your team working on, which is Christina and John doing the review, you said that U plus is right, team is not based on the major, but it's based on the course, right?
That's for our multidiscipline project. It's not this project.
Oh, it's not that.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. So I think this topic is quite interesting, especially in a, let's say, culture or religion-based country.
Right.
Because not offensive, for Muslim country, they will they have a rules strictly the female they have to stay at home.
Right.
Yeah, so this topic will be. I'm really curious about the Muslim country.
Yeah. That's true. That's definitely true. In fact, why we encourage women to choose non-STEAM is because non-STEAM, the job in a non-STEAM can perfectly match with our expectation in their society. What we expect about a girl, we expect them become a wife, and they can take care of their child. So which means they should go to the office on the 8 and then come back before 5. This kind of a daily life, right? But if you are engineering and a scientist, this is not your lifestyle. Okay, so this is one issue. The second issue, I think in some countries, they don't want the girl too smart.
Yeah.
They want people to dominate the society. I think this is the key.
Yeah.
This is another issue, right? Okay? But in Taiwan, you see, we have a low birth rate. So in a lot of families, they just only have a girl, they don't have boy. And if their parents, they are high education, so they will still invest a lot of resources on their girl. So they would not expect their girl would be like a stupid person. No, they invest a lot of resources on that. Yeah.
So I think that this issue is, it has like correlation with many things.
Right. It's not only about the education, but the education is create a kind of opportunity. So I can give I checked this document before. It's really interesting. We Taipei Tech, and we have a department called mechanical engineering. It's a big department. It's used to have it's all dominated by the boy. Okay? But now, since we have a low birth rate, so we still need to keep our academic standard. Okay, so you can imagine that we used to have a lot of boys, and their score is higher than this standard, so they all come to the department. But now, because the amount of boys going down in general, So not so many boys, their performance is higher than this standard. But some girls they did. So you see a lot of girls come to this department. So that has kind of connection between the society, culture, education system itself. But the contribution of this paper we want to present is, yes, the labor market in Taiwan, the woman is no longer like a minority. They are taking the advantage of education and the labor market.
So your sample is like this is administrative data, right?
Right.
This is like for how many years?
The earlier one is from 1979 to 2017. This is the total amount of students in each program, and this data is managed by the Ministry of Education.
And excluding foreign students, right?
No, we already exclude.
Oh, you included.
Yeah, we exclude. Yeah.
Okay, so I think I also want to know about the foreign students who come to Taiwan, what they're doing.
They come here.
Yeah,
that's interesting. Yeah, maybe they come here for you found a lot of India girls. They come here to study STEM.
Yeah.
They not come here for non-STEM.
I think there will be the change of trend.
Right.
Let's say before they just went to non-STEM field,
right.
But now the trend will change, I think.
Right. But I agree with you. The Muslim country, they still don't prefer girls to be educated. Yeah. I kind of envy you. Okay. So, any comment or feedback from our student not in the class? Not in class. Can I say that? It's in the air, right? Yeah, Isan? Yeah.
Yes, I want to just say that you said that you see a lot of Indian girls in Taipei Tech. They are in STEM field.
Okay, yeah.
I am the only one who is not from the non-STEM field.
And you are a boy. we should take good care of you. Make sure you can survive. Yeah, but here I want to point out, now the boundary between the STEM and the non-STEM is broad. It's not so clear, particularly if we are mentioning data science. A lot of multidiscipline program is based on the STEM and the non-STEM. Okay? Yeah. Okay, good. Any comment or feedback?
On the girls' education, culture is also one of the point that also affect their education. I think culture is also one of the point. Like in India, there are a lot of even non-Muslim girls. They are not allowed to take the education. Just not about the Muslim.
Okay, yeah. I know in some place, India is still quite traditional, right?
Yeah, but now there are a lot of in government policies. They are giving so much chances to the girls, so they are also going through this non-STEM and STEM education. Yeah, that's true. In fact, I think some people argue there has evidence to show girl is not so good as boy in logic thinking. There has some people show this kind of evidence. Yeah. But I would say the difference would be disappear. Why? Because now we have a lot of tools to help us to do so. Okay, we just train engineering and the scientists. We not to train you as a genius, right? So it's like Christina become a data science. How we all feel surprised. we don't think she has this kind of brain, but maybe she can work very hard and still manage those tools, and she can do the job as boys do. The difference is not so obvious. Okay, this is the point I want to say. I want to share with you.
And I heard I forget in which seminar, but conference or seminar, as I remember, is conference. The speaker said female maybe not as good as male in logic, but they are way better than male in emotional control. And like in companies,
Right.
this thing is really important when you get a problem.
Right. Yeah. So it's not no longer that we just focus on one thing.
Yeah.
We used to think you need to be a logical thinking, then you can be a STEAM. But my point is, no, this kind of thing is not anymore. So for example, like me, I study in education, but I do the programming every day. But if you look at what I'm doing, it's not a really logic. It's all about the practice. Right? So you can know, if I need to write a programming from like a C Java, those very basic, oh no, I cannot handle it. So my point is, we have a lot of tools. So those the how to say it, the challenge used to be very high, but now it's not so high anymore. You just need to take some time and to study, then you can manage those knowledge. Okay, good. Okay, so now it's about 3:54, and I want to quickly to show one slide to you. This is what we learned for previous week. I hope you enjoy. It's this. Okay, can you see my screen? As you know, that my team will do a lot of analysis by using Scopus data, by bibliometrics data. But now we focus our interest on the pattern data. I think pattern can show more thing, more economy impact. And I don't want to go through each slide. I just want to tell you we have this kind of resources. So let me take this for example. Okay, can you see this slide? Okay, you see this portfolio size. Okay, what is portfolio size? It's how many patents this institution own. Okay, and this is competitive impact. Competitive impact. In fact, Scopus they do some they evaluate the assets. They calculate the value of each patent. So all of us can license a patent, but some patent is just a garbage. Okay, some patent they worth a lot of money, but who know whether the patent you own can make money or just a paper? Okay, so Scopus they have their own way to measure the value of each patent. So they have this competitive impact. What you found? This is University of California. You see the patent number continue increasing from 5,000 to 7,000. Okay? But if you check the competitive impact, they did not increase it. What kind of pros and cons you are going to have? If you are University of California, you should worry about this. Why? Because you need to pay the fee to maintain your ownership each year. So you have more patent, which means you need to pay more, but your patent itself cannot make money for you. Okay, let's take a look of Harvard. Their patent always, they keep in the 1,000 this amount. But the competitive impact is continue increasing. What does it mean? It seems to me Harvard have some strategy to decide which patent they should keep and which patent they should give up. Okay? The reason why I want to present to you is that our team is, we do our best to get the data like this one, and we can to show not only the research performance by each university, we still can show their potential economic impact from each university. Okay, so this is all I want to share to you.
Is there is from his office?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, but it's not the license we get. Okay, they have another company called this one, Lexus. Lexus. Okay, if you want to continue know more about this, I'm going to invite her to come to our program to give us a talk. Right? See when I feel happy. Okay, so any comment or feedback from our audience in the air? Okay, so I want, as you know, that we are data people, right? So we do our best to get all the data that we can get. So we used to have a number of faculty, and now we have a number of faculty. There, how many paper produced by each faculty. Now we are going to how many patents owned by university. We are make a connection. Okay. So why not we take a short break? Then we have a second presentation, and the Zhejia is on the meeting, right? And I think let's come back on the 4:10. Then we will continue to talk on the second presentation. Okay, so take a break.
Christina, can we get a PCR PCR package from drugstore? Really? A 7-Eleven. Because Steve said, yeah, because his classmate just positive, but without any symptom.
Why not I go to the convenience store after class? I can get one for Steve and for you.
You mean I pass it to him? Then I will be infected. Okay. Yeah, 10 minutes. We you know what? In my country, we don't need masks anymore. Freedom. Okay, I will do it. Without any symptoms, like no come out, no everything. Yeah. Sure. Oh, PDF. Is it PDF?
I think it's a book. Let me send to you.
Oh, okay, perfect.
You can take a look. Actually, you can choose this as your presentation.
I will try to learn. Yeah, Indian student. Maybe this morning he went to. This morning? Yeah, because he have a class right this morning in the MBA department. Just in online, not face to face, right? I'm not sure. I'm not sure in air. No, I mean I'm not sure if they have like this kind of class. We don't know. Who knows? Only Prof. Andy do this, right? Yeah, I think he don't want to come here, so he just say that. But you know now we always in online. Why he need to connect? Who knows? That professor just follow Professor Andy's style. Just coming. Come on, I don't think so. I don't think so.
How many qualification exams you need to take?
3. We need to take 3. And he took 2. He just took 2.
But Cindy tell him it's 2.
But I don't know about this kind. This Steve saw that the. He showed me the message. Okay. And Steve say he want to take OB and e-learning, and we must be statistic, right? So Steve just say 3.
he sent to Cindy and Cindy told him what to do.
Oh, okay. So it's not his fault.
I'm not sure. I think
Misunderstand.
Cindy just say one time take two.
Okay.
Maybe she didn't say oh
Okay, got
take
it.
two. I think just something mistake. Yeah.
Could be.
So I tell Steve need to check with professor.
But if Steve cannot finish all three, let's take the qualification again. Let's see.
I think it's possible.
He said it's okay because he just want to extension.
Oh yeah, suspension semester.
So Steve will still stay here for 1 more year?
Who? Steve? He will take suspension semester.
Yeah,
He will come back.
so he would go back to Indonesia.
Yeah, maybe like 1 year or
He said he need to go back to earn money.
maybe 1 year because he got a project with big company.
And I think the situation is similar as what I did. I go to America for 2 years, and I come back to Taiwan for 2 years, then I come back to America.
Oh yeah,
another 2 years.
yeah. This is normal.
It's normal.
Yeah,
For people
I
who
did-
have to travel very
I did
far.
it before.
Yeah. So maybe when Steve come back to Indonesia, yeah, just continue working on the paper.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
no difference.
Yeah.
For some course, you don't.
He finished everything, only qualifying exam. Yeah, everything is done. The course is done. Everything, yeah.
Okay.
Qualifying exam.
Yeah. So it's not big deal.
Yeah, it's not big deal.
But the key is you need to have a team and an atmosphere to work it out.
He got. So this project in company is related to his dissertation,
What is it about? It's about online.
e-learning thing.